Hello, Vermont Red Pill here. I have a question for you. Have celebrities ever been more irrelevant than 2024? Have they ever been this disliked? It's not even a dislike. It's the opposite of love is not hate. It's indifference. I think that people are really feeling the indifference as opposed to the hate because they're just like, whatever. I don't care about your stupid Hollywood trends and fashion. I do not care about your opinions in politics. I don't care what you have to say on social media. Not really. Uh, we really don't care anymore. And there's still people that do. And I know when I was younger, I'd be all like, "Ooh, what's the latest style the celebrities are wearing? Who's dating who? Blah blah blah." I could care less. I don't know if that's just from me getting older or if it's just realizing that Hollywood is overpriced, overrated, overhyped. I mean, it's kind of like how you look at people it's like you look at overeducated people. You're an expert in your field, I guess. Their degree makes them think that they're experts in everything, not just gender ideology or whatever they have their super master's degree in. Hollywood celebrities are kind of like that. Like, yeah, okay, you are really, really good at your craft. Not all of you, but a lot of you are really, really good at your craft, and that makes you an expert. And if you were going to college and you were looking at like life experience and also like the quality of your work, yes, you get a master's degree in that, but not in anything else, okay? You are good at what you do, which is playing pretend. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. We need people that are really good at playing pretend. I like acting, it is fun, but you don't just get a pass on other areas to educate yourself. You just think because you're a celebrity and you're influential, everybody thinks like you because you don't think outside of it. The problem with Hollywood in a lot of ways is that it breeds and it also encourages narcissism. Narcissists never want to admit that they're wrong. They want everybody else to go along with the delusion that they're always right. Now, what if you have a whole entire industry full of them? Eventually, they're all going to pretty much have the same exact ideology, thoughts, culture, all of that. That's the mess that we're in now. Hollywood is so far up its own butt, it has no idea that it's no longer the majority. They're the minority. The fact that Trump won should wake them up to that. You know what? Before that, the fact that people aren't going to their movies anymore, and it's not a COVID thing, it's a we don't like you thing. We are indifferent to you. You don't matter. So your $50 million price tag, it's going down, baby. You're going to have to start learning how to live like the rest of us. Budget. A lot of you, you're set for life because you got several $50 million movie roles. So as long as you are smart with your money, then you should be fine. The rest of you, get ready for civilian life. It ain't easy, especially right now, especially with the Biden administration in the last couple of years and what they have done to our purchasing power with the inflation going through the roof. And they keep saying, oh, inflation is down 2%. It was up like 40%. Okay, great. So it dropped like 2%. Awesome. It's still up 38%. This is just an example. I don't know the exact numbers, but I do know that shit is still really, really expensive. And I thought I was budgeting before, but really, really budgeting now. You really have to decide what is it that I really want. What do I want to splurge on this month? And it's only one thing. You can only do one thing. Are you going to go to the movies? Are you going to go out to eat? Do you want to buy yourself some candles? Do you need some new clothes? Actually, you know what? Maybe you need to see a friend and they're a little further away. You're going to have to spend $45 on gas back and forth. What do you want to do? It's that one thing you spend money on, and that is it for the month. I don't know if everybody else is living like that. You probably have it even worse. It's been tough. It must be nice to be a celebrity that can just jet wherever they want. When they cry about climate change, they take their private jet, just pooping all sorts of carbon into the air while they bitch at us about being carbon pigs. Such hypocrites. Yet another reason why we don't like Hollywood. I don't even hate them because that's too much energy to hate them. So it's just I just don't like you, and I'd rather just like not deal with you. Like I'm not going to make a video specifically to talk about Rachel Ziegler or, any of the other annoying ass celebrities, like any of the Avengers that were on the Kamala call. Ugh, what is distaste? Is that a type of hate? I don't hate them because I don't really hate anybody, but I just wish they'd shut up. They talked so much, trying to convince us, trying to be influential, trying to be funny. Then they literally, I mean, I don't know if you saw the Scarlett Johansson phone call, which was supposed to be like all the Avengers getting together with Robert Downey Jr. looking like an old lady. Dude, you look like an old lady. You look like you belong in the Mark Cuban and Rachel Maddow club. Like you could fit right in there with them. It's too bad. You just see the seething cuck coming out of him or something. I don't know. These liberal guys all kind of have the same look, and as they get older, they start looking like grumpy old ladies. Not even grumpy, like just in general dissatisfied with life. Permanent resting bitch face, but on a guy. We'll have to come up with something like resting, I don't know, but I'll think of something. Have you bothered to watch the Avengers, that terrible Kamala campaign Avengers call? I mean, not only is it just like people that are just, you aren't going to influence anyone except for like somebody that's a huge Avengers fan, maybe? I don't know. And Sims. You'll get Sims, like Scarlett Johansson Sims and stuff. I wasn't even really sure who all those people were, to be honest. But we had to make sure, you know, we had the 2 dead Avengers. So we had to bring them back to life. Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man, he died, sacrificed himself to snap everybody back into existence in Avengers Endgame. And you have Chris Evans, who also probably kicked the bucket, but I don't know. They went back in time in Avengers Endgame, and he stayed behind to be with his love from like the 1940s. We could talk about Marvel. We could talk about the multiverse and how it takes away from any sort of gravity of anybody's death because you could just pull them into another multiverse. But if I have to talk about that, then I just have to talk about the general decline in Hollywood scripts and quality of movies and TV shows lately. I mean, don't even get me started on cable. Like, everything is on cable. ABC, NBC, Fox, everything. Like, I cannot watch cable sitcoms. They are terrible. They are woke. I mean, they're worse than things like, what is that called? According to Jim? Is that what it's called? Ugh. Terrible show, According to Jim. Still better than most of the stuff that's on TV now. Actually, I couldn't even tell you what's on the lineup now for like Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. Remember must-see TV? That was must-see TV. Now nothing is, except for, you know, like House of Dragon when it comes out, or Once Upon a Time, the latest Marvel show, or the latest Star Wars show. But, I mean, as far as Star Wars is concerned, I was a huge fan. My first crush ever was Luke Skywalker. I thought he was so cute. Even though, if you do the math, he was way older than me. You know, I was like 8 when I saw Star Wars for the first time. But anyway, I loved Star Wars. I loved the moment where Luke is staring out into the abyss of, staring out into the horizon and Tatooine, and then the music swells and you see him and it's a dun 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 dun. I always get goosebumps when I see that. Nothing Star Wars has done in the last decade, really, has given me those feels. Maybe when was The Force Awakens? Was that 10 years ago? That may be the first time, that may be the last time that I can remember kind of feeling that, like, Star Wars, you know, it's almost like a heartburn, but you're just like, maybe it's like nostalgia heartburn or something, because they filled The Force Awakens with that. And that's some good stuff, you know. It's member berries. They did not follow up in, what is it called? The Last Jedi? Oh, that was awful. That could have turned me off from Star Wars forever. But it didn't. I stuck with them all the way until Obi-Wan. That was so bad. Actually, you know what? I even gave Mandalorian Season 3 a try because we watched the Book of Boba Fett. And it turns into The Mandalorian Season 2.5, like the last few episodes. The Book of Boba Fett didn't have Boba Fett in it very much at all. Like, it didn't really revolve around his crime bossing or whatever he was supposed to be doing. Most of the Boba Fett stuff was terrible, except for the first couple of episodes where they showed him interacting with Tusken Raiders. That was pretty cool. You know, we didn't know about the culture of Tusken Raiders. So I'll give them that. But the rest of the show was terrible, except for parts of the Mandalorian that were in there. But when the Mandalorian came back, it's not about him anymore. It's not about him and his relationship with Grogu. It is now all about Katie Sackhoff's character, who's annoying. She has no flaws except that she's perfect, and that is annoying. Hollywood needs to figure that out. Perfect women, strong women. I think they call them Mary Janes. They have nowhere to go. They're already so high up in like what they can do in the very beginning. They don't even need training. They're just really, really good at it right away. That is annoying. We want to see the epic hero's journey. We want to see characters that have flaws, like we do, like the people that we know do, like normal people do. Nobody's perfect. I mean, there are exceptions, but I'm not going to believe that every woman in every TV show or every fantasy TV show or just every TV show in general, like they're just already good at it. I want to see their struggle, but I want them to be a character like I want to root for, because the ones that will show struggling there's something really wrong with their personality. They're really mean to people. Like they have borderline personality disorder. They're narcissistic, or they're evil, but they're not really evil because we get to watch their later, like the villain story later, or their backstory. Because there's so much non-linear storytelling. You're just put right in the middle of the TV show or the movie, have no idea what's going on. And you're just supposed to root for the character. And the character has like all sorts of things about them that if you knew this person in real life would be like red flags, but you're supposed to root for them because darn it, that's the protagonist there, or the antagonist, or the hero of the show, or whatever. And their personality is crap. And they're like, I wouldn't want to be friends with somebody that's like this. So why would I even root for them? And that's if you even get any information about them. Usually you have to wait like episode 5. You finally learn something about the character's background. And I know I was speaking about Star Wars, but you could put this in almost any movie now. Everything is non-linear. Dump you right in the middle of the action. You don't know who these people are. You don't know what happened prior. Do you even care? I give it the 3-episode rule because so much crap lately. I'm just sick of wasting my time on crap. It's my time is valuable. So I'm not going to watch a series that turns to shit halfway through or takes forever to get to where it's going. I got a 3-episode rule. If you don't have me by episode 3, I'm done. I'm not wasting any more time with the show. And sure, maybe I miss out on some shows that way, and there are some exceptions that maybe I'll come back to, but most of the time, if I didn't like it in 3 episodes, I'm probably not going to like it because of how it's written. That's just the way it is. Once upon a time, they did nonlinear very well. Oh my goodness, what's the name? Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. They did nonlinear very well. An example of bad nonlinear, did you see the newest, which is I think only a couple of years ago, the newest Little Women? It was like a patchwork quilt of whatever random scattered chapters of Little Women in no particular order, except for they start at the very end where you know that Amy ends up with Lori and not with Joe, because they show you that at the very beginning, even though it's at the very end of the book. Why would they do that? Why do that? I don't understand. So not only is it nonlinear, it spoils the ending of the story. I mean, the director is a smart woman. She did Barbie. And Barbie was... I can make a whole video about Barbie and why I love it. And it's like a guilty pleasure of mine because, yes, it's super woke, but it's like so super woke, super girly, all of that stuff. It's almost its own parody. And I wonder if that's like what they were going for. I wonder if that's what Greta Gerwig was going for. I don't know. It's hard to tell with people. Like, can't tell parody from reality anymore. It's just crazy. And I'm hoping with Trump's win and the fact that people are actually speaking up now about boys and girls sports, things are going to change. You can actually say things that are true, but maybe not the nicest thing to hear. Like, if you're a trans female and I can tell that you're a guy, I don't want you in my bathroom. You make me nervous. If you don't bother to look like a woman in any way, then get out of my bathroom. It's just crazy. I don't even really want you in my bathroom if you look like a woman, but you know what? If I don't know, then I don't really care. As long as you're not one of those people that pretend to be trans and are actually a pervert and like get off on wearing women's clothing. Yeah, those people are hiding amongst the trans people. And my guess is that there's way more of them than there is of actual trans people. And I also think that they've turned a ton of trans females. I think they've turned a ton of gay men into trans females and just like get rid of the whole point of them being the same sex but still loving, like they love their own. It's hard to explain that, but doesn't it just kind of erase the whole concept of being gay? I think the trans thing bumps right into the regular gay and lesbian thing, but they think they can all work together. So I don't know. I just hope things get a lot less confusing, and I hope that Hollywood picks up on the fact that we are so sick of this. I'm sick of your diversity quotas. Like, I can tell you exactly who's going to be in every cast. You ready? So you'll have a show. Let's go with Netflix, because they're like really like consistent with their casting. All right, you have your couple main characters here. It's going to be a white guy, and he's kind of stupid, but you know, you kind of like him anyway. But he's sort of a meathead. But you know, he'll have time to change based on the things that happen in this show. So you'll eventually end up liking him. But he's kind of a screw up. And then you have the female character, and she is a strong female, and she's had a hard life, and she's biracial. Is it biracial? She's, what do they call it? Oh, she's a person of color, or no, biracial is okay, right? See what I mean? This is ridiculous. She is a mixed race, right? Personality is annoying. She's strong female, but yet you're supposed to root for her because she's had a tough life, darn it. And she has a good friend who might be non-binary, and she's the white girl. She's either non-binary or she's a lesbian. And I don't really know about her personality. She just kind of is like a second banana thing, and maybe comic relief. I have no idea. But she's got to be there too, right? And then you're probably going to have an Asian person. Doesn't matter if it's a guy or a girl. They got to have some sort of Asian descent, or maybe Polynesian, a Korean person, or you could have an Indian person, or even a Middle Eastern person. You got to have that one person, maybe even two. And you're going to have a black guy that he could be the main character, possibly. But he is probably going to be gay, because for some reason, I think Hollywood thinks that like a straight black male is not appealing to the audience. I don't understand why, but a lot of times they make the black guy gay.